for me, we're at the end of an industrial era. We have moved people into city centers. We have locked them into different rooms. We have paid them by the hour to perform certain tasks. We took that factory. We did that during daylight because that's when you worked, and then we moved that over into office. I think this will, for me, have an end to that era. Because now I think you will enable yourself to work from everywhere, and you will also go into a new work of where value creation is going to be much more important than hourly, because you cannot control people in an office or in that perspective, because I think people will not allow that. And if I talk to my HR colleagues that are working in that field, one of the first questions everyone's getting today is what is, the working from home policy, and if it's 5 days a week at a shitty location somewhere far outside, people are saying, no, I'm not going to commit to that commute.
Commercial real estate industry, or the office real estate industry, has gotten away with no service for years. Like, you didn't have to do anything, you just put a building up and you give it to an agent, and hopefully they sign a 20-year lease, and you don't really need to do anything. And that's changing. So landlords are getting more operationally involved in their assets where previously they didn't. What's driving that is a fundamental change in behaviour from the occupier, and the reason that occupier needs to change their behaviour is the number one cost to any business. It's their employees.
I think the big shift started a few years before COVID, where we as developers, and now I'm going to put a bit of blame on us, we were creating more commodity product in the office sector rather than a personalized product for the companies. So for us, it was thousands of square meters which we distributed across the companies, and the main target was to fulfill the standard investment requirements. So the whole product was around the investor. And what has dramatically changed, that today when we are going to approach new project, the whole story starts with the occupier, with the end user, not even with the companies which are using the building, but we are talking about every single person in the building, how they behave, what they need around them.
For businesses that are making real estate decisions, which are typically quite long-term decisions, it's quite difficult to make a decision about how you're going to occupy your real estate for the next 10 or 15 years based on what's happened over the past 12 months, because it's been such an abnormal period of time. So I think to some extent we just need to kind of suck it and see a bit and wait and see what the next 12 months hold. And I think that will inform very much what the take-up levels are likely to be over the next 3 or 4 or 5 years. That said, at Hines, I think we have been long believers in the attractions of the city centre. And there's been a big debate over the past 12 months about whether the city centres will return to what they will be, or whether people will start relocating in suburban hubs and office parks closer to their homes. I personally, and at Hines, we believe very strongly that the city centres will thrive again. And of course, you come to the office to collaborate with all the people that sit around you, but you also come into the office for all the things that go on around the office. And just in the past weeks or months, I've witnessed, based here in central London, just how many people have returned to London as they've been allowed to. And clearly not all of those people are returning to London to go to the office. They're enjoying the bars, the restaurants, the retail and so on. But I think that the overriding attractions that the city centre has will be what ultimately draws people back to city centres and will then drive office demand again once lockdown restrictions are fully lifted.
Offices are not dead. They're doing quite well. Here from Central Eastern Europe perspective, we also see quite a lot of inflow of the operations, like shared service centers, again, after the trend which we have observed in 2010, 2012 in the past, when the boom for Central Eastern Europe shared service center operations has started. Right now we see a similar trend, which just begun. Basically, so a lot of requests, a lot of questions from the companies who are not having the presence here. So I believe that all the markets in Central Eastern Europe will be doing quite well. But basically, Poland and Czech Republic has reacted the quickest, I would say, or we can say that we are back on track. and Hungary and Romania, they have a bit slower takeoff, but we also see quite a lot of activity over there in those markets.